What's happening, y'all? It's Mike the Money Motivator, man. If you're watching this on YouTube or the podcast, get tapped in. It's going to be a good one. In this video today or podcast, whatever, however you getting this information, I'm talking about Tesla stock. I'm talking about passive income, and I'm talking about how traditional finance will keep you poor. So it's going to be a little rant, a little bit. So I'm also talking about passive income, and that's going to tie into how traditional finance will keep you poor. So let me get into that right away because I need to get y'all in the mindset. I'm Mike the Money Motivator, so I want to be motivational. The traditional financial way will keep you poor. Let's look at history. History, the man went to work, the female stayed at home. They was able to do that. Why? House prices was $90,000. It's not the same anymore. Keeping a 9 to 5, going to work and coming home, working your 40 hours, coming home, that's not going to help you, especially if you don't have financial intelligence or financial knowledge. It's not going to help you, especially if you're single. If you're single without a second job or a side hustle or anything like that, you need to call mom and dad and be like, hey, is my bedroom still available? I'm pulling up, and stack your money. The traditional financial system is not successful anymore. Relying solely on your 401k is not successful anymore. Your 401k, your social security is not enough for you to maintain out here. How you going to be able to maintain? Pick up you a financial book or two. I'm not saying get all deep into it, or you could just tap in on my podcast once a week and I could give you that information while you driving to and from work because I'm in this all day. But you have to change the way you think about finance. You have to get a job or a second job. Why do you need a job or a second job? I'm sure you're able to pay your bills with your one full-time job or whatever. But with your second job, you need to be able to build an emergency fund. An emergency fund is 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months, if you hurt yourself, repair on the house, repair on the car, whatever it is, you got that tucked. On top of that, I don't really like to do six. I like to do three because I rather put my money in other places. So I just do the 3 month emergency fund, right? But on top of that, once you got your 3 month emergency fund, you know that if any setbacks happen, you are safe. And what that's going to do is going to give you a peace of mind, right? So then you start allocating your money towards your own business, right? So you work in your full-time job, then you work in your part-time job, or you picking up hours at your job if that's better. I recommend instead of working a part-time job, if your job allows you unlimited hours to pick up, I suggest you pick up hours at your job. If you work an extra 2 days a week at your job, that time and a half will surpass another 4 days at your part-time job, which you're not getting overtime and you're probably not getting as much money. But anyway, working overtime or a part-time job, you get your 3 to 6 month emergency fund and you tuck that to the side. And then you start allocating that money towards your own entrepreneurship, whether that's YouTube channel, whether that's drop shipping, and spend a whole weekend. I don't care if that's this weekend coming up, today, Saturday. You could start today. Spend a whole weekend. If you work 4 days and off three, spend a whole 3 days. If you work 5 days and off two, spend a whole 2 days. Your first day is educational. Just spend a whole time reading books and YouTube, but educational on your side hustle, whether that's drop shipping, day trading. I don't care what it is, but you need something else. And that's on top of your second job or overtime. I'm not saying you got to go this hard for a long period of time, but The second job is really just to give you a safety blanket and extra money to put towards your side hustle. Once you have that, then you just go back to your 9 to 5 hours or your 10 hours at work shift or whatever that is. And then you can start putting extra money towards your side hustle, towards your business, buying you a pressure washer, buying, you know what I'm saying, driving, whatever you trying to do, you need to start working on entrepreneurship. Because if you like most people, you probably hate your job. You probably not happy at your job. You probably would prefer doing something for yourself or what you like doing. So what that entrepreneurship is going to do is going to give you freedom with time, but it's also going to accelerate your financial freedom. So that's just my little rant on the traditional financial system. That's of old. You can't rely on that old system no more because it won't work. Houses ain't $80,000 no more. Nah, you could get a Tesla for 80,000. So you got to change your mindset of I go work, I go home. That will keep you in poverty or paycheck to paycheck your whole life. But now I'm going to get into how to get passive income on the stock market. And this is really for beginners. If you pay attention to the stock market, you already know this, but I get people ask me all the time, how do I invest? How do I invest? Open the brokerage account, follow all the steps. Just like if you did on Facebook. When you first opened Facebook, you followed all the steps. It's the same thing. There'll be a link in my description if you're on YouTube. Download the Robinhood app and follow all of the instructions. The next step is to invest in an ETF. ETF is a group of stocks. You're only paying one price for it. You're paying a percentage of each stock, right? And the stock I want to talk about, the ETF I want to talk about today is SCHD. The current price for SCHD is $77. But the reason why this is the best passive income ETF is because it is a dividend ETF. And dividend is when a company pays the shareholders for holding the stock, right? So, as you know, over a long period of time, stocks go up. SCHD is not a growth stock. It probably go up $20 in 5 years. But you're getting that compound growth over time. And on top of that, it's getting you passive income. Passive income, side hustle, your own business. Now you see where I'm getting at. Your 9 to 5 will not cut it. It won't. So if that's all you're willing to do, then stop complaining and be content with how your life is just working at 9 to 5. But let me get back to the dividend play, right? On passive income. So SCHD currently is at $77. It has a dividend of $2.66. So let me show you how you make passive income on this. That's $2.60 per share. And it pays a dividend quarterly. So that's every 3 months. So if you did, every time you get paid, if you get paid 2 weeks, if you bought a share at $77 per paycheck, $77 a paycheck is $154 a month. You probably pay that in streaming services, which are Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Cinemax. You probably pay that in streaming services. It's $154 a month. You would pay over a year, it'd be $1,848. In a year, you would buy 24 shares, even 24 shares of SCHD, which would give you $63. So after a year time, you would have $63 of passive income every 3 months, $63. But at first, you don't take that $63. You allow that $63 to roll back in. Why? Because now that $63 is almost the amount of one share. So now every 3 months, your dividend is buying more shares. So once you get that dividend for the first couple years, allow that dividend to buy you an additional share, giving you an additional $2.66. So now your dividend is making you more dividends when you initially get paid, right? Of course, this is more of a long-term thing, but it's building your wealth over time. It's building your passive income over time. The longer you allow this to build up, the more passive income you will get, right? So, like I said, after a year, that's $63. Now let's times that by 5. After 5 years, it is $319 every 3 months. $319 every 3 months. Now you're buying what? Like 3-4 shares, right? 3-4 shares every 3 months with your dividend alone. At that point, you could stop and let your dividend keep buying shares. But if you keep going, at 10 years, you will now have at 10 years, you would have $633 every 3 months after 10 years. That's passive income, baby. $633 after 10 years, and now you buying $633 worth of shares. At that time, the share price will probably be like 100. You buying like 6 shares every 3 months. That's passive income. So I'm going to get out of that and I'm going to talk about Tesla stock a little bit, right? So Tesla, if you ask me, I feel like it was a growth trap. Elon Musk was all the hype. He was the first one to come out with autonomous cars, SpaceX, Twitter. It looked like this man was going to take over the world and it was going to be the #1 top company. However, year to date, and this is just February 3rd, year to date, Tesla is down $53. Do I think Tesla stock will continue to go down? Absolutely. I think there was too much hype behind Tesla, and now it's going back down to its true value. Will Tesla be a buy in the future? Possibly. If it comes down to a level of support, if it ever comes down to the 200 moving average or something like that and bounce off and starts to shoot up hard eventually, maybe. But I feel like for the next couple months, Tesla is probably still going to continue in a downward trend. Let's talk about some other reasons why. I feel like it was a hype stock. It's an automotive company. Yeah, they bought Twitter, yeah, SpaceX, but is any of that really bringing in money outside of the cars? I don't really think so. So let's get into their earnings, right? The last 2 quarters, they missed their earnings expectations. And next quarter, they decreased what their earnings expectations are. So they're decreasing their expectations and they're still missing them. Not good. Not a good look for the company. Elon Musk, you got to tighten up. So I covered all the topics I wanted to talk about today, but I want to get back to the passive income because I feel like it is slept on. As you can see with the dividends, that should be a first step or a route to passive income. There's other stocks and investments that have dividends. Apple pays a dividend, but SCHD is a dividend specific. That's why it pays so much per share. That's why it pays 266, because it's a group of stocks that pay dividends, right? But that's quarterly. You do have stocks that pay dividends monthly. Those are usually REITs, which is real estate investments, right? Realty Income, ticker symbol O, they pay a dividend every month. You could go with them. The best and safer investment would be SCHD, right? So now let me get into some other passive income ideas and side hustle ideas, because I want people to start. This is really for you to brainstorm on how you can change your financial future, how you can get passive income and get a side hustle, get additional streams of income. So I really want you to think about this in this video or podcast, however you're getting this information. If you have extra time, and I'm not saying life is all about money. Like I said, if you are comfortable, some people are minimalist, some people are cool with, you know what I'm saying, living, living from couch to couch, and they cool with that. I am not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. So if you anything like me, this information is for you. Get out here and get it. You can mystery shop. You can drop ship. You can drive with advertisements on your car. You can play games for money. You can watch videos for money. You can pressure wash sidewalks and houses and cars. If any of those sound interesting to you, look it up for a weekend. Look it up for a weekend, or pick a day out of your weekend to spend the whole day researching. The next weekend, pick a whole day getting started. After 2 weeks, you should not have not gotten started. Passive incomes and side hustles don't always bring you income streams, right? Not right away. I have a YouTube channel that's been up for a little over a year, maybe a year, 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, I got referral links from it, but I haven't got paid from it yet. But I'm on there teaching people how to get money, how I'm getting money outside of YouTube. And eventually that will bring me an income stream over time. So you also have to be patient with your business or your side hustle. If it's something that you love, treat it like a hobby. Stay consistent and show up, and your money will grow up. I'm Mike the Money Motivator, man. Get on my YouTube channel to like and subscribe. Get on my podcast once a week, and I'll see y'all next time.